Welcome back to the Mike Will Experiment, everybody. I am here today to discuss Stadia, pros and cons. If you're new to the Mike Will Experiment, the Mike Will Experiment is a gaming vlog channel. We cover first and third party Nintendo products. We also cover My Nintendo and all the great My Nintendo collectibles. And I'm too poor for thrift pickups, so it's Google Stadia. Anyway, I am here today to discuss Google Stadia and its pros and cons. So I have been exploring Stadia. I got a free, as you may know, I got a free Google Stadia kit because I'm a YouTube Premium member. So, which is good. It's good to get it for free. I think that was a good, really brought me in, and they was smart of them to do that. So I've kind of put together a list of pros and cons and just some things that sort of I want to discuss. Should you buy Google Stadia? And, really the answer is kind of complicated. So we'll go into who I think, at the end of this video, who I think. I'm going to go for some pros and cons and who I think it's the best fit for. So what I have here, for pros for Stadia, no downloads, instant access on launch. Be playing before others. So when Cyberpunk comes out, you don't have to, even if you get a physical disc, you're still going to have to put a day one patch. On Stadia, you'll be playing literally before anybody else. You won't have to wait. Well, hopefully, there's going to be a lot of people playing at the same time, so who knows how that'll work out. But in theory, you'll be playing first, and you won't have to patch anything, and you'll be ready to go. If everything goes smoothly, but I'm hoping that it will. So that's a huge pro to me. Getting it right away, being one of the first to play it. Very cool. Better, more PC-like experience or next-gen. The graphics. Go check out my other video. Yes, it's not, I don't have a capture card, but I did film that video in 1080p 60. So you can definitely tell the difference. I'm trying to, at least do that. I do have a pretty good camera. I have an iPhone 11 Pro Max, so I am able to do things like film in 60 frames. So I have been doing that. So if you go check out that video, while it's me just filming the screen, you can definitely see the difference. And it does feel more next gen on the games that I've tried like that. A lot of the free stuff doesn't really give you that feeling. Destiny 2 is really what I had to compare it to. And then the next thing will be Cyberpunk. But so far, I really feel like it brings that next gen feeling. So can play on mobile devices. And I put Android support as a part of that, which is, it's great if you're in the Gmail, Google infrastructure with Stadia. If you're not, I'm an iPhone user. If you're an iPhone user, there is a workaround that I will do a video on at some point, but it's not made for the iPhone because Apple has all of these rules that you can't, it's such as, thing. That's just how it is with Apple. So, you can't use it on an Apple product right now. Now, that may change in the future, and there is a workaround, but it's not an official one, so I'm not really counting that as a pro. So, playthrough direct connection is really solid. The Chromecast that I got with it, I hooked it right up to the connection. It played flawlessly, didn't have any problems with that. Over 60 free games available with Stadia Pro if you had it since the beginning. You just click a button that says claim, similar to Xbox Live Gold. And the Wi-Fi does work pretty well as long as it's the only thing. So it has the highest priority on your network. Otherwise, it will not run that great. Just in my experience, you may have better router than me, but that's where I'm at. And that leads me into the cons, which is the speed over the Wi-Fi is iffy. Like I said, if it's the only thing on there and it's top priority, it's probably fine, but I played it through the iPhone, which technically you're not supposed to, but it was a little laggy. I played it through my computer. It was a little laggy. So, the best performance was with the connection. And there's no free games, unfortunately, unless you pay the monthly fee. I think Destiny 2 might be free if you don't pay the monthly fee. I can't recall on that one, but basically, if you want to collect free games on the Stadia service, you have to have an account. And having to connect the Chromecast to a network cable is limiting. I put as a con. The Chromecast tends to get hot and requires ad hoc solutions. if you're uncomfortable with heat, I'll post some images here, but you have to literally put heat sinks on these things and get USB fans. It's so, if you don't want it to be hot. So that, I would say, is a con. And you know, my last point is where will my games go if the service goes away? So there's definitely some things to think about. Hopefully that gives you food for thought, some pros and cons. But I wanted to go in, you know, how does this fit in for Switch gamers? Because we are a Nintendo channel. Well, how I see Switch gamers utilizing the Stadia is simply if you only have a Switch. Obviously, if you're going to get the Series X, or maybe you have a Switch and an older Xbox, you know, you're not planning on getting a Series X or a PS5. Well, in that case, I highly would recommend a Stadia, because you'll be able to do things like play Cyberpunk and other games in that. Red Dead Redemption is another one that's on there. Games that you just can't experience on the Switch for a variety of reasons. And they may not play great on whatever your current system is. If you have an original Xbox, you know, Red Dead doesn't play great. You know, Cyberpunk won't play great. So this may be an upgrade for you in lieu of a next-gen system, if you can't afford it, like I can't. And then, especially the scalped prices. Not to mention, you know, avoiding that, you know, you're avoiding the scalped prices. If you pre-order Cyberpunk, you do get the free system as well. It comes after the fact, but you can play it on your computer in the meantime, even if it's a crappy old laptop. So I really hope that helped you guys sort of make some decisions for yourself on Stadia. And please leave comments if you have any questions about Stadia. You can also join our Discord. I have created a Stadia channel. The link's below. I hope you all have a great day.